Hi everyone, as you already heard, I'm Robert Kuska and I'm here to talk about Koala. And so what's the Koala? There's the one called TLDR about what Koala does, and it finds problems in your code, and sometimes also fix them right away. And to be like more verbose, so my presentation takes longer time, I can say you that Koala is a command line tool interface which checks your code against predefined set of rules which you would like to follow for your code base and yield errors if it doesn't. So basically, it's a linter or checker or some sort of formatter. And I assume that everyone knows about linters and checkers. So the obvious question is why Koala? Why would you develop like a new tool to lint your code when there is already dozens of another linters and checkers and similar things? Because like each language comes with their own linters, checkers, and it's really pain to remember each of them, and remember have to use it, and remember all the commands necessary to run them. And not to even mention if your code base consists of several programming languages, right? So why a new framework for checking and linting your code? Thing about Koala is that it is not just a linter. It's supposed to be an API, unified API, which you can use to implement already existing linters so they, damn it. Okay, so Koala aims to provide unified API to these checkers, which already exists. So then you can run them anywhere, and you don't have to care about all of the different commands and setups about how to use each of them. And the cool thing about Koala is that the already mentioned API is implemented in the best possible language, and that's, of course, Python 3, right? So to describe how Koala works is simply it's your code, and using its predefined tools, it produces the outputs. It produces the outputs of the checkers and the linters. And all with that, and for that you only need the already mentioned one command. So Koala comes with support for many languages by default, and those it uses plugins to run those checkers, and the plugins are called bears, and therefore there is so many of them. And there are bears, I guess, for like any language you can imagine. Like, I mean, there's tons of language I even didn't hear about yet. So this is a list of all languages that Koala supports by default. So I could show you some code about how Koala works. To set up Koala, you can use the pip to install Koala, basically, like you normally do. But what is really interesting is that the Koala needs Java to run. that's kind of let down, right? So let's see. I have here some repository with a file, and the file contains some Python code. And there is many lines of code, so you can expect that there will be some errors, right? So let's use Koala. And Koala has really good CLI, so you can just take a look about every of these options. Like here is specified that we need to specify a dash dash file and the dash dash bear. So let's see what dash dash bear means. And it's name of the bears which we should use, and the dash files are the files which should be checked. But we don't know about the possible bears we can use, right? So let's check which bears are available for us. And there are quite a few of them, but we are concerned only about Python bears, right? So let's see. So let's choose some, and I would choose the Pylint because Pylint always produces tons of errors and warnings. So I guess that should be a fine choice. So let's run the Koala bear. And here you can see how Koala works. It finds that there are missing docstring, but whoever writes docstrings, right? So apply no further actions. And here you can continue like that, and it will find like any warning or error which Pylint produce. But as I already mentioned, Koala not only check your code, but it also can transform your code, right? So let's see once again the available Koala bears. And I guess we could try use the YAPF bear, which is the yet another Python formatter from Google or Facebook, I don't know, which should transform your code to follow predefined rules. So here you can see we can either apply no further actions or open the affected files in an editor, or we can apply the patch which is specified here, and it will just remove the one extra line which doesn't follow the PEP 8. And also if you run git diff, you will see that the change is being applied. So, but the thing is that I would like to write my own checker, because I mean there's already a lot of it, but I have like special corner cases which I would like to check. And this is a very specific line of code from our code base. Does anyone know what's wrong with it? I mean, besides there is missing like try and whatever. Just imagine this is just a snippet from a real code base, and everything else is just there, but something on those two lines is bad, like wrong. Do you know what it is? Anyone? Okay, if you run this code like with the try wording and everything, it would work. But the thing is that you are using the traceback format X wrongly. If you would run this code on Python 3, this would fail, because in Python 3 you can't compare anymore anything between it. And the thing is that format X accepts integer, because the integer specify how much lines should the format exception print, right? So the thing is that it was widely used in our code base because I guess like someone saw it and then just copy paste it, and that's how bad habits are born. And you can you can fix it, but you would like to check you would like to create some sort of check to know that people aren't following those bad habits anymore, right? So you can write your own koala bear. Okay. So what's there? Okay, I added there the traceback, the wrong usage of traceback, but for some reason I'm missing my koala bear. Oh, I know, where is it? Or not. That's not good. Okay. I could try to write it from my memory, but this wouldn't go very well. So what could I do? Okay, do it. Will you do it? Okay. Okay, the colleague will send me the correct code because for some strange reason I didn't add it to Git. And that's pretty weird. Okay, meanwhile, I can show you, like, you saw that I have to use all these commands, right? The koala, file checker, bears. And it would be nice to use some configure file, right? So, yeah, the koala comes with configure file, which you can see here, which have different sections. I mean, the commands used in the configure file are pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Classically ignoring files which to apply all the changes and checks. These are specific checkers which are being run. And here you can, for example, see my exec param bear, which I created to demonstrate how to create your own checker, which is now kind of missing. It's like, okay. I will do it. I will disconnect for a minute. Okay. This is the thing with live coding. I mean, this is my first presentation, and I decided to go for live coding. What could go wrong, right? Okay. Let's give it a second. Okay, the important thing is that every time you should, when creating a new bear, you will just subclass from the predefined local bear class and define the run section. And here you can see that we created the regex to check for each line in a file if it contains, and if it does, just we will just yield the result. So let's try it and let's hope it will work. This should be it. Yeah, here you can see that It also suggested to apply a patch which was auto-generated. So I guess we can apply the patch and apply now a few directions. And don't run the bytes. What's that? Okay, so let's see. Get diff, and it was removed. And now you can like you are now safe, and you don't have to care about people using the wrong format exe function for printing the functions. So how to use it? You can do it the old school way and install Koala via pip, but that means that you have to take care of the specific dependencies for each of the languages, and that means the binary dependency and everything, and those things are not on the pip, like obviously. So this was already mentioned, the Java, and there are many other things for Ruby and other languages. But if you want it, you can do it. You are free to do. And if you are looking for an easier way to run the Koala, it's like it's a Docker. You can run the Docker which is hosted. I think it's codebase or something, right? Also, it is very easy to add your Koala to GitLab CI or any other CI because it's in Docker, right? So to summarize, a great thing about Koala: one unified API for your linters and checkers. You don't have to learn like all the commands of all the tools. You just use the already implemented plugins, and you don't have to care for anything else. It comes by default with support for many languages, and also you have the option to write your very own checkers, and also never forget to git commit them. And the another thing is it's easy to deploy when you are using Docker. When you are not using Docker, it's not that easy, I guess. and also it's good to have one tool to run them all, right? So how to contribute? The great thing about Koala is its community. There is a lot of people working on Koala, and you can join them. There is just visit koala.io, click to the docs, and navigate to newcomers guide, and you will find out that you can reach the people like at every possible channel you can imagine. They're on Gitter, they're at, I don't know all those channels. There's probably someone on ICQ still lurking for new people to join Koala. And also the people there are very helpful. So if you run into any problem, which you shouldn't, but they sometimes have problem with documentation that it is not so up to date because of the development. So just join in the Gitter and ask them questions. They will be happy to help you. So, any questions? Do we have any questions?
Thank you for interesting talk.
Okay.
And now questions. The first one: have you tried all bears, at least Python bears? How can you choose the best one?
No, I haven't. I think those tools already exist. Those are no new tools. So you just go with what you used before. Or there's this cool thing. Show bears, and you can add here the -d to show description. And by the way, all those errors are because of the missing dependencies, because I installed it the old school way. But you can check it, and there are descriptions for every bear. And no, I haven't used all of them. Like, we currently use only PyLint and some other specific for space consistency and things like that.
Thank you. Next one. Can you run Koala only on the parts of the code you've modified?
Yes, when you are using the when you are using the CI, the Koala is like by default running on the latest commit you produced. It is not running the entire file.
How about customizing bears, ignoring PEP8 rules, etc.? Do I have to write my own bear?
No, you don't have to. Just don't use the bear. It's just it. I mean, just don't specify it in Koala file, and it will be. It won't be used.
Can I just specify a question? Like when I use the main, there are few rules, like 80 lines.
Yeah. Each plugin should be customized, like in the Koala file.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah, you can customize what you want or you don't.
Okay, and the last one, is it running on Windows as well? Any way to port it?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not using Windows, so it's running on Linux. It's running on Mac. I mean, I don't know. Use Linux.
Perfect advice for the end of the amazing talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you.